Richard Wallace, Director of the Transportation Systems Analyst Group, Center for Automotive Research, recaps this year's car conference presentations by highlighting new automotive technology, advanced diesel engines, fuel cells, and government-backed R&D.
There's new technology coming, powertrain, connected vehicle communications. It's going to have benefits over the next 5 to 10 years as that gets deployed, fuel economies going up, emissions down, safety and mobility improving as a result. We see workers coming back. We see 55,000 jobs, I believe is the number, added in the auto industry since last year, and I think something like 40,000 of those have been in the upper Midwest of the core auto area. So it's a very optimistic conference this year.
And you were saying that a German engineer talked about diesel. Could you sort of break that down?
His analysis certainly showed that for at least the next 5 to 10 years, advanced diesel engines and diesel hybrids are the way to go. And it would take both a dramatic price increase in gas or diesel, as well as a dramatic decline in the cost of batteries to make a pure battery or plug-in battery vehicle cost-effective for its green outcome. A lot of the companies are maintaining their positions in fuel cells and are still working them, and we heard that on a session you and I were sitting at with Honda, talking about their continued efforts on the fuel cell side, and we heard General Motors on another panel talk about their continued work in fuel cells. So that's still out there down the line as perhaps the eventual technology that we'll see. Historically, almost all of the R&D spending in the motor vehicle industry is in the private sector, the auto companies and their suppliers, and even them funding some basic research at universities coming from private funding. But with the recession and the stimulus money and the investments that went into battery research, you saw in this last year, really for the first time in U.S. history, a big government component to that expenditure, particularly in R&D and some other support for setting up plants, for giving consumers incentives to make purchasing, and it's a new thing for us in the U.S. It's certainly not new in other parts of the world. You take the Ministry of Industry, MITI, I forget exactly what it stands for in Japan, but they certainly make industrial policy and they invest and they, to some extent, pick winners and losers, if you will, whereas we typically haven't done that.